recording this session. I just started recording this session. You know, please feel free to ask any questions. On the Zoom, there's a part that you can chat, and then you can use chat to ask any questions that you may have. And let me see, I guess we can start since everyone is here. We started the recording. Let's start now. So again, just summarizing what I was saying earlier, we collected the data, the information, and then we put together this 2-hour-long session, which we're going to do 1 hour each week to show the students and the parents how to be successful. You know, first things first. As the first step, just to make sure that they're enrolling to the school, they're making sure that they start off correctly. And then next week, we're going to talk about different resources that they can utilize so that once they are in trouble, or even before getting into trouble, knowing the resources, they will be able to, you know, get away from the problems and make sure that they are successful. So let's start. We are doing this session with Mr. Kovar. Mr. Kovar is the college guidance at Utica Academy of Science Charter School, and me, Mr. Oz. I'm the college guidance at Syracuse Academy of Science Charter School. As you know, Utica and Syracuse, we have two charter schools under SANY umbrella. SANY is Science Academies of New York with 3 different schools, including the citizenship, which we have 2 high schools, Utica and Syracuse. So we decided to make all these events together, either with the seniors with these 2 sessions or the lower classroom with 4 other workshops. So what's going to happen is this week we will talk about how to make sure that you're enrolling and you're doing the necessary steps throughout the summer, and including the first week to make sure that you are fully enrolled and successfully started the college. And next we will talk about pretty much about the resources. So let's start. The first things first, finishing the high school, right? They will enroll in the college, but we're going to make sure that they are they've completed successfully the high school. So normally every year when we talk about senioritis, we talk about a little bit differently, right? We say, all right, you're coming to the school, do this, do that. Now, this year it's a little bit more problematic because students are not coming to the school because of the COVID-19, but some of our students are not paying enough attention to about the classes. Now, just remember, we will still send your final transcripts to colleges after June 27th. Okay, after the school is over, we will send your final transcripts to all the colleges that you're attending. So when I say this, remember they will see your performance as a senior. Now, of course, they are in the same shoes. They understand that there's COVID-19, but please make sure that you're completing your work. You're doing what is expected from you. And I'll tell you this, the expectations are being already lightened by all the teachers. And then you don't have to be patient until June 27. I don't want to give a calendar right now, but much earlier than June 27, we're going to stop classes, and then we will start accepting some makeup work. I'm not just entitled to give you the calendar right now. It'll probably be announced soon by the administration. But during this time frame, please make sure that you complete all the work. You submit your work, okay? Some of you guys may be feeling, okay, I'm not even going to start the college right away. It doesn't matter. Your high school transcript is with you. Either going to college, starting to work, whatever you do, until you have a new diploma and a new transcript, which is college, right? Your high school transcript is your everything. Right. We'll talk about the final transcript later on. But right now, it is in this step. We'll just talk about just finishing the high school. Mr. Kovar, anything you'd like to add for this?
Yeah, sometimes we have that situation with our seniors. Unfortunately, also the senioritis hits them hard, and kind of they are thinking that, oh, I'm already done. It's the second half of the senior year. I don't need to do too much. Well, we need to do much because still the official scores and everything goes up to June 26, and we still need to be on top of everything and then finalize everything and finish everything. because those things are still counting towards your transcript, as you said.
Yes. All right. Now, we had with Syracuse people, we made a session about the financial aid earlier, but I'm not going to go into the detail right now. We will just remind you some of these little things. If you are still in the process of making a decision on what college to go, please refer to that other earlier recording. If you do not have access to the recording, please let me know. Email me. I'll send you the link. In a session, there's this comprehensive financial aid package, how to compare colleges to each other session is being recorded. Now, just to summarize that, every college has sent you a financial aid package. You really need to compare them. You need to collect all of them, put them together, either physically next to each other or utilizing the spreadsheets that I shared earlier. You can put things together and then see which college is going to cost you how much. Sometimes a college looks like expensive, but with the scholarships, and then since possibly you are commuting, so not necessarily staying on campus, it may become very cheaper, right? So that's why you want to see that. And with the financial aid package, it's important that you are making sure that your room and board is being correctly placed, because if you have decision changes in your plan, you have to report it to the colleges, because that's going to change the cost of attendance. Which means, let's say you decided to stay home, but now you want to stay on campus, or the other way. Mr. Kovar, anything, please?
Well, I just want to add something for the financial aid packages. Sometimes they also add subsidized and unsubsidized loans into the packages, and they kind of just subtract them from the the cost of attendance, and they are saying that, oh, technically this is your money, it's given money. Well, it's not a given money, it's a loan that you need to take out. And sometimes they also put like study and work programs into that financial aid package, and it seems like they're given money also, like the loans. But actually you need to work somewhere in the campus and then earn that money, and we should be careful about those two items actually.
Yes, I mean, loan is loan, it's given to you, but you got to pay back. You have to pay back. Scholarships and grants are you're not going to pay back, so they are more valuable, or more it's better, right? I don't want to call it free money, but it is the money that's going to belong to you. Right. There's an appeal process, by the way, and then a number of our students, I would say at least 5 of our students, have appealed their scholarships this year. And then, unlike any year, this is one tiny good thing about COVID-19. I mean, virus or sickness cannot be good, but one of the products of that is all 5 of our students who appealed their scholarships got a raise in their scholarships. In the previous years, whenever students apply for the scholarships and then they appeal it, the success rate was always very minimal. Like they were saying, yes, okay, here's another $500, or no. But this year, whoever applied for appeal, they were able to raise their scholarships. Okay, so you may be thinking, oh, how am I going to appeal this, right? So it's basically you are sending an email, okay, to the registrar. They usually have a different, financial aid department. You send an email to financial aid department and you tell them that because of this, that, or any other reasons you may want to list there in your email, you're saying you are asking for more scholarships. It may be reasons like, if someone lost their jobs, or a part of their jobs during the COVID-19, or a family member got affected from the COVID-19. So they even if as a family you have gone through that and thanks God nothing happened, but you could tell medical and financial reasons here, list them and say, I need more money. And it doesn't hurt if they say no. So you could also say things like, I really want to come to you, I'm just looking for more scholarships. Or you can say things like, oh, I really want to come to you, but this other college, indicating the name, gave me a better scholarships. I still want to come to you. Can you please raise my scholarship? That sort of reasons also count. So if you want to do that, please do it soon, So you can appeal the scholarships that they are giving to you. Okay, I'm moving. So go ahead.
Yep, we can.
Okay, the next step is enrolling to the college. Now, you finish high school, now you're enrolling to college, right? What are you going to do? Now, May 1st is passed, but the colleges are more flexible this year. So it's usually May 1st that the deadline for most of the colleges, that you have to tell them that you're coming. And then, in order to show that you're serious in your enrollments, you make a deposit. And then the deposit means you are making a deposit for the tuition or the school enrollment as well as the residential deposit. And then this year, after COVID-19, they made it a little bit more flexible. They put most of them. Some colleges may be still asking for May 1st. I'm hoping that you read my email beforehand. Please make sure that your college is check their deadlines and make sure that you are making your deposit in advance before their deadlines. And then in financially, some financial cases may be, a good reason for you to say, can you make my deposit a little bit, less than what you're asking? What I mean is, if they're asking for 200 deposit, you can say, I cannot afford it right now. Can you waive it? Or I'm going to be able to make a deposit only for $100. It doesn't hurt asking. And this deposit, by the way, it's not a wasted money. It goes to your account and it waits for you to be billed. When they bill you, this money will be subtracted from the bill, which is a good thing. You don't have to worry about it. It's not a money that goes to waste. It's just waiting for you when you start the college. Sir?
Well, a deposit is important. If you don't put a deposit on time before the deadline, you may lose your seat and you may look for the alternatives. And most of the colleges, they unfortunately do the deadlines on the same time. So you may go back to the maybe start at the uh, community college or something like that, because you lost your seat with because you didn't do your deposit on time. So this is important.
Would you like to take equal placer, sir?
Okay, so the equalizer test is the test normally determines your level when as you come to the high school, we put you in the whatever we have in our master schedule, and then based on your wishes, we put you into those classes. But before you get enrolled into any class in the college, actually you need to take a placement test, and they call it equalizer normally. Sometimes they have their own version of the this placement test. It depends, it differs from college to college, but generally everybody almost uses this equalizer test. So before you get enrolled in any college, at any class at the college, you need to take this test. But because of the COVID-19, most of the colleges, they kind of waive this requirement this year. So you are kind of lucky on that. Either you take any dual credit or any other program with us with MVCC or OCC, you are also waived from this test, so they know your level and they can just directly put you into those classes. But other than that, if you are brand new to the college, you need to take this test before you get enrolled. And after that, you're meeting with your advisor, and your advisor checks your placement test scores, and then recommends you some classes based on the score that you got from the equalizer. You can retake the equalizer test. There is no limitation on it, and most of the time they give you the correct. They give you whatever you need to take, and plus in one extra class, maybe like kind of remedial class, maybe, instead of just enrolling you with the lower level classes. So it depends on the college, but they are flexible on this, so you don't need to get test anxiety on this. But you should, aim for the high to just pass it at the first time. I think that, do you want to add more, Mr. Ross? Mr. Ross?
So yeah, I unmuted myself. So if there's a placement test, they're gonna make you like either an equiplacer test or another placement test. If the college is asking for it, that's the next step for you guys. If they're not asking for it, if it is waived this year because of COVID-19 or any other reasons, then you can move to the next step. But in order to move to the next step, they're gonna make you take a placement test. If you don't take the placement test, you may end up getting a remedial class. So as Mr. Kovar said, it's important. So next thing is enrolling to the college. Now, we talk about the enrollment deposit, but there's going to be a bunch of other forms that they're going to require from you guys. So, and now these forms may be coming from all different resources. You may get a request from financial aid. You may get another request from your advisor, another request from residential life. It could be a survey from the doctors or the medical office. Like, you may get some requests. I don't want to say so many to discourage you somehow, but you're going to get a number of things, requests. Some of them just filling out a form, some of them submitting some documents. Please make sure that you are on top of your tasks, okay? Just read the emails that are coming. This is the only year that this is going to be painful like that, and then after you enroll, it's going to be much more easier. The next couple of months, like whatever is being requested from you, make sure that you do it on time. So check your portals. Every college has a portal that they list items over there. Sometimes they email you either, or you just make sure that you follow up and then complete them. Sir?
Well, I just want to add
Anything
something on
you
the
want to add?
residential life surveys. Those are important if you're gonna stay at the dorm. So they are actually looking for what you like, what you don't like, what are your interests and anything, and they match you the best candidate that can be in that room with you and without any problem. That's why those surveys, please do not skip them. They are important if you wanna stay with somebody who likes to do same thing with you in the same room. So you should be filling out those surveys. Or there is another way: if you know somebody who's already going to that college, you can put their names into those surveys, and then they can just place you with that person that you uh, already know from your maybe high school, from the community, or anything like that.
So the next step is talking to the advisor after you you complete your application, you do your paperwork, you take your placement test or being waived. Maybe they're going to use maybe your SAT results, or they're going to check what was your grade. They will possibly waive it. And the next step is to talk to your advisor. When you're talking to your advisor, they're going to tell you what classes you could take, what are the steps to take those classes, and it's very crucial at that point that you tell them what you think about your major. Either you declare it or not, you can say, I'm thinking about this major. I'm in between of this major or that major. Freshmen usually take the freshman classes. There's a number of freshman classes, right? History, English, math. You need to take them anyway. But if you kind of have an idea, even though maybe you said you declared nothing, or you declared or undeclared, or you decided, whatever you did in terms of you're not sure, still you may take one class in the area that you would like to pursue, so you will have a better idea of how that program looks like. So that's a great way of knowing, would that major be a good thing for you or not. So that's how you can test yourself if I would be happy doing that specific major, right? So talk to your advisor, be honest with him. You can still say, I'm not decided. I'm in between these two or three, or I have no idea. I have no clue. I would like to start the whole, research process here. They will advise you to take appropriate classes. And then you are picking the classes. You usually talk to your advisor first, but you do enrollment to the classes with an online system. You do this earlier the better, because some of the classes fills up quickly, all right? Especially the classes that everybody wants to be a part of will be filled up quickly. Why would that happen? Because either the timing or the teacher. Some teachers are more favored, right? They are easygoing, they give less work. How are you going to know who those professors are using these websites, okay? Either talk to the peers from upperclassmen who are in the same major, okay, or you can go to ratemyprofessors.com, and there's a couple other websites like that. You can utilize these resources, and then you're going to pick the classes also with other criteria, things like, okay, where's my friends going, or is there a morning session, but is there an afternoon session as well? If you're an early bird, if you're a morning person, just take the classes in the morning. But if you go to bed late, if you know about yourself, you know yourself already, right? So if you don't want to take the morning classes, don't take the morning classes. Don't push yourself hard. If you're saying, I would like to change myself, I want to be a morning person now, it's okay. You can still wake up early and study, go to the library, study for your classes. But if you're not ready, don't take the classes, I don't know, 7:30 in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning. Um, Mr. Kovar, would you like to take this, please?
Sure. Well, you already put maybe your information into Mr. Rose's website and my survey, Mr. Rose's survey or my survey for the, this is the college that I am going to, and we're gonna submit everything after the, June 26th. But something happened, it didn't work out. The financial aid package was not the expected. Something changed in your life. The things happens, and in the middle of the July, you decided instead of going to Le Moyne, you decided to go to OCC. So you need to inform us, guys, because we already submit your final transcript to Le Moyne because you informed us earlier you were going to Le Moyne, but the things changed and now you are going to OCC. So you need to come back to us, kind of inform us, and said that you need to say that, hey, Mr. Oz, I was going to Le Moyne, but now things change. I'm going to OCC. So could you please submit my final transcript to OCC? Then we will be able to submit your transcript to OCC. Otherwise, we don't know. We are still thinking that you are going to Le Moyne. So this is also important. Before, without your final transcript, they might not able to enroll you into the college, and then you may lose your seat, unfortunately. And there is also another thing for the college transcripts. College transcripts means like if you enrolled in the dual credit or if you enrolled in any program with the OCC or MVCC and then take some college courses, unfortunately, we are not able to access, we don't have access to those transcripts. So you need to actually go to the register office at that college that you took the credit from and ask them to send that transcript to your final college. And generally, this requires some fee. I believe it's $10 for OCC. It's $15 for MVCC also, and as well as the other colleges. It's not like more than that, but they do require some money to send your official transcript to that college. So if you want your courses, which you need to do that to get exempted from the courses that you already taken, so you need to submit your college transcripts also to the college that you are going to for the next fall. And with that transcript, they are able to look at what you took so far, and then they are able to waive some of the classes that you will be taking in the next year. And this is going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money. And this is going to put you ahead in the game. We want to add something, Mr. Ross?
Yeah, this is one of the biggest mistakes that our alumni making. They think that the college transcripts will automatically be transferred, right? As Mr. Kovar was saying, like they think, okay, I don't need to do anything, right? Or my high school will send it over. It's a part of high school transcript anyway. It really is not, guys. Sometimes we also put it on the high school transcript, but that in order for colleges to transfer these credits, you really, really need to follow it up. You need to go to OCC or MVCC, whatever, or SUPA. You have to go to them because we don't have access, guys. I don't have access to OCC or SUPA, databases. They don't use school tools. They have a different system. I don't have an account. I cannot just download your transcript and then send it to college. So you have to do it yourself. You go to their website. There's usually $10 fee, or it may change. You need to order these transcripts to be sent to the college that you're going to be attending, and then it's their word. It's the final phase. The colleges say which classes that they will transfer. But if you don't do this, you get no transfer, right? I'm sorry, Mr. Kaur, I kind of interrupted what you were saying. You may continue.
No, no, this is exactly what I said, and I was, done, and then
Okay.
I ask you, what you want to add
Okay.
already. So this is, yeah, as you said, if you want to get waived, which you should get waived because you already took that course, right? And you don't need to retake it. So you should be going to the college that you got enrolled in the high school, and then make that transfer to the college that you are going next year.
Yes. And then now we're in the summer, right? We talk about enrolling May, June, and then the school is over. You send your transcripts from high school and the college. You are following up with them to transfer those credits. Now, in the summer, let's say end of June and July, there's a couple of things you will be doing in the next couple of slides. Number one, the Excelsior Scholarship just recently opened, I believe. When I checked May 1st, it was still not open. They said that you know in the next 2 weeks. If you're thinking about getting an Excelsior Scholarship, you have to act on it. Now, you probably did tap already, the state grant. It's on the same website, or you can Google it and then make sure that you're going to, it's the same place, but to the right place, and say, I'm going to this college. Now, Excelsior Scholarship works a little bit differently, and then the reason is I kind of feel that they don't want to deal with all the colleges you are getting accepted. They want to know only what college you're enrolled. That's why Excelsior Scholarship does not open before May. Now, everyone, made their decisions, made their deposit. Now, you go to Excelsior Scholarship. On the website, you say, I made up my mind. I enrolled, I fully committed to this college. Then they will process the Excelsior Scholarship to that SUNY college, SUNY or CUNY. Now, if you're going to a private school, there's another scholarship that's very similar to Excelsior Scholarship that's called Enhanced Tuition Award. Right? It's also limited to $6,000. Excelsior Scholarship is more famous because all SUNYs are accepting Excelsior Scholarship, but not all private schools will be accepting Enhanced Tuition Award. Regardless, if they accept it, and then if you want to take advantage of that, you need to do it. Okay, you need to go to the website and say, I'm committed to this website. Please send my money to that website. Okay, it's not very complicated, but you need to take action. And they have a deadline of July. I don't remember July 15 or July 30th. But what I remember is it was July last year. So make sure that you do it on time. Okay. So
They did not open it yet. I just checked the website.
no, they didn't.
Yeah, they
And
did
they
not
didn't be
determine.
more flexible.
Yes.
If they didn't open it, I hope they can be more flexible with deadlines. Do not make an assumption, okay? June 1st, check it again. If I hear anything, if we hear anything, we'll email you guys. But I know you're getting so many emails. I'm not sure. So don't rely on my email. Keep checking every other week. There's time. Even if they keep the deadline as July 15 or July 30th, they're still in May. But, check it once in a while. Write it down in your to-do list. Okay. There's another scholarship.
There is an option that they can put their email address and then subscribe for the website. So whenever they open the website, they will automatically get email from them.
Harry, can you please copy that link into the chat so people may be able to? Would you mind?
Sure.
Thank you. All right. While Mr. Kovar is copying that link to the chat, I would like to talk about the Terra Scholarship. Terra Scholarship. Terra is a friend of our, SANY schools. They give scholarships. They make a number of nice, gestures to us. One of them is they are giving scholarships to our alumni. Their condition is that you are a SANY graduate, which means either SAS or Utica, either Syracuse Academy or Utica Academy. If you are graduated from one of us, then you can apply for the Terra scholarship. And then when you apply the Terra scholarship, they would like you to be attending a 4-year college. But I don't want that to discourage you. If you're going to a 2-year college, it's okay. You may apply when you transfer to a 4-year college, okay? Don't just say, oh, it's not for me. You may eventually go to a 4-year college, right? Let's say you spend the first couple of years, and you go to a 4-year college. Don't forget, you can go back to Terra scholarship, and then you apply to Terra beforehand. Their deadline is usually June, okay, end of June. So apply in advance. Their website is terraed.org. So Kowar, would you also please take a look? What's their website? Thank you very much. I should have put it here on the presentation, but I didn't remember before. Okay, so you can apply. There's going to be an essay portion. You can just write it down. There's another portion for the transcript and then proof of your graduation from SANY schools. We can take care of that piece. Okay. So speaking of scholarships, there's other scholarships available for you guys, right? It's not only Terra. Terra is kind of guaranteed. They pay $1,000 per year. If you are graduated from SANY, if you're going to a 4-year college, you are almost guaranteed to receive the scholarship, unless you do a big mistake with the deadlines or the essay, okay? So last couple of years, they are giving every single student the scholarship. Only the ones that they don't apply, they don't get it, right? So yeah, Mr. Kovar also click the scholarship link on the chat. You may go there and then copy it. So you have both the Excelsior scholarship link as well as the Terra scholarship link on the chat. So another one that I would like to say is another resource that's a great resource is the goingmarry.org. If you want to use this time, if you get bored, you don't know what to do right now, please go goingmarry.org, GoingMarry website, and then it's a common application. It's a new common application for the scholarships. Apply to several scholarships over there. Especially if you don't have too much to do, if you are staying home most of your time, you could do that as well. Mr. Kowar, did you want to add anything about the scholarships part?
Well, guys, scholarship, I think you should take it as a side job for yourself. You can also use Google, search. It doesn't hurt. Like, even if it's $500, even if it's $200, $300, I think you should apply for it. It's just going to reduce your burden, financial burden, and you should take it as a serious side job. Maybe spend half an hour each day to look for a scholarship. And if you have already an essay ready, and you can just upload it over there, and then after that, you're gonna be fine. If you get that $500, it's in your packet, and you just spend half hour. That's it. So it's a good money, I guess, for the half hour, $500.
Okay. The summer months, June, July, August, a lot of students change their minds. They lose concentration or their commitment in the colleges. They say, okay, I find a job, I would like to make more money, and then you can come up with 1,000 excuses, things like, okay, let me make some money so I don't have to get loan, or let me give a break, I'm tired of the school. I mean, you're gonna get a lot of ideas, believe me, guys. You don't even think about it, but in the summer it's going to get harder and harder to come back to college, come back to school, okay? But remember, I'm telling you this because there's such a thing, and the colleges call it summer meltdown, okay? Colleges are aware of that as well. But prepare yourself right now, psychologically and mentally, and even academically, thinking about you want to go back. And I'll tell you the reason. Now, if you give it a break, even for one semester, things will get harder. It's going to be getting harder and harder to go back to college. Like after I finished my bachelor's degree, a couple of years later, I decided to make my master's. I know from experience, it was so hard to start the masters because then you give a break, your whole mindset changes, your habits changes. Now you don't think and you don't act like like a student. You start, you know, you start being an adult, a working adult, making money. That becomes your mindset. Believe me, guys, you're gonna make money for the next 30, 40, 50 years, God willing. So, finish your college first. Okay, don't worry about the money. Money will come later. And if you finish the college, we talked about this before. Your hourly rate will not be $15. After college, it's going to be doubled or tripled, right? So hopefully, don't give a break. Okay, don't give a break. So, Core, I would like to make one suggestion. I made a picture of this speed reading book here. I really enjoyed it. I tried it myself. I really liked it. Now, think about this. Now you go to colleges, right, next year. So many of your professors will be start asking you, read this chapter, read 3 chapters, and write a paper about it, okay? You're going to get a lot of things like that, okay? If you're reading faster, okay, things will be much faster, much easier for you. I would like you, I encourage you, or I recommend you to work. One of the things that this summer is to work on your speed reading techniques, okay? And I'll give you an example of what I mean. Now, even within minutes that I'm going to give you some clues right now, you're going to see that you can really make your reading faster, okay? I read that the very first thing, one of the very first techniques that they want you to do is to stop verbalizing your readings, okay? A lot of times, maybe you realize it or not, but you read aloud, even if it is not aloud, but quietly, but your lips and your tongue verbalize what you read. The very first thing is you're going to stop doing that. Now, of course, you're reading a story to your brother or your cousin. Yeah, you can read a lot, but now you are going to be a college student. You're going to read so many books, so many texts, so many chapters. You have to read faster now, okay? So stop verbalizing things. And you're going to see by doing one quick technique, you're going to be much faster. The next step, you're going to stop verbalizing things from your inner voice. That's hard, okay? The first one is easier than the second one because like you can just stop, using your lips or your tongue, which is going to make you a lot faster. But it may be a little bit harder, and it requires you some practice to stop using your inner voice to verbalize what you read. Okay, if you pass that, you're going to see you will already double up your reading speed. Okay, and then you're going to continue. The book will let you make a lot of eye practices, and then if you're going to start reading multiple words at once, you don't focus on one word, but you start focusing on multiple words, and then your brain will grab that. Our brain is wonderful, guys. We are ourselves limiting our brains. We are the ones who are pushing the brake into our abilities, okay? So this is one of the things. Starting from kindergarten, we were taught this way. Now it's time to change your habits. So this summer, long story short, this summer do something for yourself, either this book or another one. I encourage you to work on your speed reading, and then you can do other things, but utilize this summer for something beneficial, something useful. This book was very cheap. I believe it was $10 or something on eBay, not more than $20 on Amazon. So, take a picture of this book and then start thinking about it. This is a good investment. Okay. Before passing that, anything, Mr. Kovar?
Everything is was so good. I think
Otherwise, we can move
let's
to
take
summer
the
orientation.
yes
Okay.
summer orientation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the one of the most
Summer
important.
orientation. Would you like to start a little bit? Please, sir. Would you like to take this?
Well, summer orientation is the time that you are actually learning where your 2 years, or if you're enrolled in the 4 year, where your 4 years is going to be passing for, and you're learning about that place. If you have plans to, thinking about missing that summer orientation, it is not recommended, guys. So they are gonna give you, tremendous amount of information about the college that you're gonna be staying there for 2 or 4 years based on the college choice, and they're gonna teach you almost every single thing that you need to know about the college. And you're gonna learn about the rules, you're gonna learn about the procedures, you're gonna learn about the if you face with something, you're gonna learn where to go and how to fix that problem. And that's why you should attend the summary orientation. And there is a lot of information about Greek life, campus life, clubs, activities that's going to happen down the road. They're gonna give you all of them, all information over there. And they're gonna actually prepare you for a good start off. Would you like to continue, Charles?
So I would like to tell a couple of my experiences from my either friends or my students. Is that sometimes students think that, oh, this is orientation. I attended 5 of them in the high school. That's definitely different. It's not about the changes in the policy. It is pretty much talking about what's coming up for you, right? So you learn something that you cannot learn in an easy way. Okay, one of my friends, as an example, did not know that there was a GPA requirement. All right, there's academic probation under certain criteria, and one of them was it's 2.5 while you're in the college, or sometimes maybe 2 or 2.5. It depends from college to college, but it's usually, I believe, 2.5. In the master's degree, it's 3.0. My friend was this friend of mine was going to a master's degree and didn't know that, and then he was thinking, okay, like B's are okay, but B's, I mean, a B minus, you may end up below 3.0. So he was being placed into academic probation. He didn't even know that. He was considering himself, okay, I'm doing okay, but all of a sudden he see that academic probation. It was so terrible. It was just a very bad moment. So when you're in academic probation, they usually do not let you take new classes. They want you to repeat the old classes, right? So that you increase your GPA first before moving up to the next stage. So at the same time, you may lose your scholarship. Okay, you lose a semester, you lose a scholarship. Now, even if you transfer colleges, it's not easy to find generous scholarships anymore as much as you got it in the high school years. Okay, so this is one example. Another example, another friend of mine experienced this. And a student that has graduated not from the school. I'm glad that didn't happen, but that I know a student that they didn't know that, oh, all the work was being checked by a software called Turnitin. Now you're more lucky that your teachers have already trained about that, but everything is submitted online at the college. Then once you submit a work, it goes to the professor, but at the same time, your submission goes to Turnitin. And Turnitin will check the originality of your work, which means if you have copied anything, if you are in plagiarism, they're going to find it out quickly. In a matter of a second or so, they'll send another email to your professor saying that 35% of this work is being copied. It's not original. So you may also get into trouble because of your act, and you may end up in academic probation as well. Okay, so these are all the things that maybe you know it right now. Maybe you're saying, oh, we know that already, but there's much more information that you may only learn in the summer orientation. So the summer orientation is almost like the handbook of the college, and you learn it at once. Okay, when you go to this summer orientation, you're going to see the buildings around, the rules, the procedures, and as Mr. Kovar said, what are the locations of the crucial service locations, right? You learn about everything, and even the opportunities. You're looking for a job. What are you going to do, right? So I don't know. We can talk about hours about academic orientation, but let's move on. You got the point. I'm sure you got the point. Let's move on. So we have another orientation. But this is not the college orientation. This is the orientation for the class. Mr. Kovar?
Yes, the class orientation, which is the first week, first meet actually. So if you have plans to miss also the first week, This is not a good plan. So why it's not a good plan? It's because in the first week, all of the teachers, all of the instructors, they are giving out the syllabuses and they are putting the expectations out there. For example, if there is a midterm related with that class, they're telling you in that time. And if there is a final attached to that, they're giving you the dates, even the dates in at that time. So as we said, they are giving out the syllabuses also. And let's say this they are teaching, they are using a book, and it has like 20 different chapters in that book, and we have 10 students who are taking this course, and which means that every student is responsible for 2 chapters, and they need to read and they need to prepare a presentation. And if there are easy quote unquote chapters, you will miss that chance to get those easy chapters. And maybe professor, if the professor is naive enough, they will assign you, they will send you email, hey, we were in the first week, and then we assigned every one of them a 2 chapters, and those are your chapters, and you're good, which means that you're fine. But most of the instructors, they don't do that because they don't have time to do that. So you will miss that chance. And on the other hand, as I said, maybe May 15 there is a midterm, and you didn't go to first week, you didn't know, and nobody mentioned that after that, and then you went to class again May 15, and then, oh, what's going on? There's a midterm. So you don't know, you didn't prepare yourself for that. So that's why first week of the classes are so important. It's like the orientation of that course, and the instructors are giving out a lot of information in the first week, and then you are able to adjust yourself, you are able to adjust your daily routines, and you are able to adjust your study habits based on those information, and you shouldn't be missing the first week of the classes.
And it's, you'll be lucky if your teacher will be nice enough to remind everything as your high school teachers, but don't expect that. Okay, if you're lucky, all of your professors will be like that. But what if one of them are not? So one of the things we've been discussing with your teachers and administration, we nurture our students a lot, all right. But in the college, you face the realities. There's not going to be a school counselor or a school principal that's going to follow you up with your work or missing tests or your deadlines. So you have to adjust yourself according to the expectations from you. You're going to be you're going to be independent in most cases, but you're responsible for everything. You're taking this responsibility. Now, one thing is that you can utilize your calendars now. You can put whatever is necessary in the syllabuses from all of your classes into your calendars, and now you can set reminders so you don't miss anything. But make sure that you use your checklist, you use your calendar stuff, you set up your alarms. Make sure that you are supporting yourself. Okay, you're self-sufficient. Okay, let's move on. Attendance. Attendance is another big mistake or another big problem that a lot of students get into. Here's why. And if you maybe they teach you also in the but in case they assume that you know this, either in the high school or in the college, you have to attend 90% of 10% of the school. Okay, so let's give an example. By the way, I have to fix this 190 because, as you remember, up until last year, our school was 190 days. Now it's 180 days. So if you realize that, we're telling you 10% of the 180, do not miss more than 18 days, right? If you are missing more than 18 days, you are failed, right, in the high school. It's the same thing in the college, but the numbers are different. Now, college is only 15 weeks. It's not 180 days, right? It's only 15 weeks. If you're attending a class that is meeting only once a week, then it means you're going to see this teacher only 15 times. And then you may not miss more than 10%, which is 10% of the 15 is 1.5. So, which means you may miss only once, okay? Within the whole semester, if you miss this teacher or the class, the second time they're going to fail you. And maybe your teacher is not going to even tell you that you failed. You finish the semester, you take the final exam, you're thinking that you had a good AA, and all of a sudden you learn that you failed from attendance. And then you're going to say, oh my God, but I've been attending, I missed the first 2 weeks, but I attended all the other stations. No one told me that I was going to fail this class, right? If you knew that, you could even drop it or waste it over it on time. You spend the whole semester for nothing. I mean, it's not for nothing. You learn something, but it's not graded. That's very unfortunate, and it sometimes happens as well. So, long story short, do not make sure that you're not missing any class at all. And then, if you're lucky, if the class is meeting twice, then you make your calculations, but do not miss any classes in the college, guys. That's crucial. Okay, the first year experience, we kind of started talking about this in terms of, with the orientations, with many things. But here's the thing, the first year is very different, right? It's not going to look like high school. High school versus first year of college is very, very different. So we've been nurturing you guys in the college. You're going to be independent. You're going to be responsible for everything. At the same time, it's not like your sophomore or junior year because you do not have the college experience yet. All right, so the first year, you're going to learn a lot. You may make a lot of mistakes. And in order to minimize these mistakes, we've been telling all these things with orientation, and then now next week we're going to talk about a bunch of resources, which is I would say it's crucial. It's very, very important. Please don't miss next week's session, okay? Please. We're going to talk about how not to make those mistakes, how to be successful. When you fall in the cracks, either academically, psychologically, financially, we will talk about different resources that you're going to have for the college. But just overall, your first year is the most important year, I would say, in terms of mentally and psychologically, not academically. In one way, it is, but it's not. You can argue that the college student is going to be more important. But what I'm saying is that holds the biggest risk of if the student is going to be able to continue the college or not. This statistics shows that more than half of the students who drop out, it's 2/3 they drop out in the first year. Okay, so if you move through the first year and if you become a sophomore, you'll most likely graduate, guys. There's going to be very little risk after the sophomore years, right? Of course, there's always risk because the financially, economically, academically, there's going to be a bunch of obstacles will be coming up for you. But the first year holds the biggest risk. Okay, and then one of the risks is a lot of students says college is not for me. I'm dropping, okay, or I'm going to transfer. I'm going to take a break. I got tired too much. I'm not taking it anymore. Let's say, right? If you know your resources, you'll be able to get through this problem. But if not, the last item, right? The last item is crucial. I placed it here for a purpose. If you drop out in the middle of a semester, that's the worst decision you can make. You have to be patient through the end of the semester. What happens if you drop out in the middle of the semester because you didn't honor your scholarships? Because the scholarships and grants were given to you for a purpose, okay? And then you didn't honor the purpose of those scholarships. They will turn all of those scholarships and scholarships and grants into loans. Again, unfortunately, I've seen someone, actually 2 people in my life had that mistake. I mean, they didn't ask me, and then in my earlier years of my experience, my college guidance experience, I was not really doing this. So I would say you are lucky listening to this presentation, guys, but my earlier students were not as lucky, okay, because I was also learning, okay. So those 2 students who dropped out in the middle of semester, their scholarships and grants turned into the loans. And one of them wanted to go back to college. He had to work extra, pay off all the debt. It took him 2 or 3 years to clear up the debt, and then he was able to go back to college after 3 years of a break. All right, so it was a terrible experience. You know, if you ask him again after 20 years, he's an educator right now. After 20 years, what was the worst decision in your life? He's probably going to say that I should never drop out in the middle of the semester. Be patient. Even if you want to take a break, be patient. Wait until the end of semester. Do not drop out in the middle of semester. And we'll talk about how in the next week. All right, let's see. I'm going to check if anything left for this week. I'm going to finish with this. This is the last one slide. Okay, guys, we're going to next week. This is what we're going to do next week. Next week, we will be talking about your free resources at the college. Okay, there's a bunch of resources, but I would like to first change your mindset. Nothing is free. Okay, when I say free resources, I was kind of testing you. Your mindset, it's not free, guys. All those resources, you either earned it or you are paying for it. Okay, if you're going to SANY or a college that you're paying nothing, you earned it. How do you earn it? Right? You studied hard, extra, you did a good GPA, you did a good SAT score. Eventually, you came to the point that you earned it. You got these scholarships. Now, also you are paying for it. Maybe you didn't earn it, but you're paying for it. But either or, those resources are not free. Okay, next week we're going to talk about the resources that you are paying. I really want you to understand and then change the mindset. And I'm going to go jump into this one presentation for the teacher. I made a quick calculation here. Nothing is free. How much is each class worth it? Let's say you're going to a college which is 25 grand, which is Lemoyne, let's say, not SU because SU is more than double. Divide $25,000 into 2 semesters because there's 2 semesters. If you are taking 4 classes a semester, divide it to 4, and then 15 weeks a semester. Every time, every week, you're sitting at taking a chair over there in the college and listening to your professor, you are paying over $200. If you're going to SU or a college, then double that number. You may feel that I'm not paying anything, but think that. Change your mindset, okay? Change your mindset and say, I am paying this money. I'm paying $400 sitting in this chair, okay? That's going to make your whole process drastically. You're going to start taking care of everything more seriously. You're going to listen to the teacher seriously. You're going to make sure that you do the work on time. It's not high school. High school sounds to you as free education. Actually, it's not free. It's funded by the tax money. So your parents have been paying so that you were coming to high school. It's funded by federal and state grants and a lot of different resources which were funded by tax. But the college, you'll feel it much better, okay? Because college, they're going to make you feel that it was not free for you. Okay. Now I'll take, Mr. Kowar, would you like to add anything? Is there any questions? We'll take them.
Well, there was one question for the scholarship links, and I'm just sending them privately.
By the way, I'm stopping the recording right now.